Welcome back. Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx is not seeking a third term, and the race to replace her is heating up. Joining us this morning is one of two Democrats vying for the position, retired appellate court judge Eileen O'Neill Burke, who is very familiar with the office. She spent nearly a decade of her career as a Cook County prosecutor. Thanks for coming in this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So the first question is, what grade would you give Kim Foxx, do you think, and what needs to change, if anything, in that office?
Well, I think it's obvious that I would not give her a passing grade. I would not have stepped down from the appellate court unless I believed that we were at a critical juncture right now. And so what grade would I give her? It would not be a passing grade. And we can fix this, though. Our justice system is not working right now, but I don't think anybody needs me to tell them that. I think anybody who watches the news could tell you that. But you could also talk to any victim, any witness, any defendant, and they would tell you it is not working right now. But we can fix this. We just need to get the right people in place.
Okay, so let's get to the nuts and bolts. And, you know, we hear from Chicago police time and time again. They make an arrest, and then less than 24 hours later, that individual is back on the streets committing crimes. So what would you do to put crime victims first in this process?
And that seems to be, we've gotten a little bit away from the mission of the state's attorney's office. And the mission is always to be the advocate for the victims in the court system. So I will tell you this. I do not believe in playing hide the ball. I will tell you exactly when the state's attorneys will seek detention. The state's attorneys will seek detention each and every time someone's found with an illegal assault weapon, each and every time someone threatens someone with a gun, each and every time someone creates a commits a violent crime on the CTA. In order to have a vibrant, thriving city, we need to have a safe public transportation system, and we don't right now. If you are a working person, you don't have the option to take Ubers or drive somewhere. You need to take the CTA, and we need to have a safe public transportation system. So each and every time a violent crime occurs on the CTA, we will ask for detention. We can change the way people perceive this city. The perception of the city right now is that it is rife with crime, and that's not an inaccurate perception. We need to change that so people feel safe to come here, so that businesses want to relocate here, so that they can recruit people to come here and people want to raise their families here. That's not happening right now. Instead, we have families and businesses leaving, and they're leaving because of crime. I'm talking to people all over the city, all over the county, each and every day, and I'm hearing the same thing. People are afraid. And when people are afraid, they leave.
I want to ask you one more question before you go about restorative justice. You've made this a cornerstone of your campaign. Tell us about what that means for the city.
So restorative justice is a term that people throw around a lot. So let me define what it is we're talking about. Restorative justice courtrooms are for non-violent felonies, and they're geared to specific types of defendants. Drug addicts, mentally ill people, prostitutes, veterans. They're a collaborative approach with the judge, the prosecutor, and the defense attorney to figure out what does this person need to get back on track. They're actually having success with these programs. Their repeat offender rates are significantly less than any other type of program. So not only does getting people back on track make us morally better as a society, it's fiscally better. These programs cost a fraction of what it costs to incarcerate someone. And if we can get someone turned around, that's what we need to be doing. So I want to focus and develop these programs and make Cook County the most innovative and cutting edge on what we are doing to get people back on track.
Eileen O'Neill Burke, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate you coming in and breaking it down for us.